Hello and welcome back to another video. So I have recently gone on a bit of a binge and bought a lot of ebooks. And when I say a lot, I mean a lot. So today I'm going to do an ebook haul, and there are over 50 books that I want to let you know about. Well, I want to let you know that I bought them. So what I'm going to do is, because there's quite a lot, if I know anything about them or what genre they're in or whatever, I'll let you know. And what I'm going to try, but obviously I'm not going to expand and go into great detail because it would make the video super long. I'm kind of sitting on the edge here because I'm going to try and put pictures of the books up in this corner if I can. We'll see if this goes successfully or not. I suppose if you're seeing this video it has been successful. So I have my little notebook here where I've written all of the books to remind me, so I'm just going to go through them one by one. And yeah, so if I'm looking at my notebook, I apologise, but I need to remind myself which ones they are because there are a lot. So, I have recently bought Wolf by Wolf by Ryan Groudon. This is a YA fantasy. Enclave by Anna Guire, which is the first book in the Razorland trilogy, which is about like the undead and an imminent war. Zombie by Darren Shan, which is, I believe, just short, fun books about a town that is invaded by zombies. A Living Nightmare by Darren Shan, which is the first in the Cirque du Freak series of books. The first book in the Lockwood and Co. series by Jonathan Stroud, The Screaming Staircase. Pardon me, this is about ghost hunters. Jane Steele by Lindsay Fay, which I think is a Jane Eyre retelling. But it's about a woman who's part of a cult, and then she escapes. But instead of like keeping hush about the cult, she comes up with a plan to murder everyone who captured her and made her life a misery. I have The Dry by Jane Harper. I have Men Without Women by Haruki Murakami. This is short stories. I have How Long Till Black Future Month by N.K. Jemisin, which is also a short story collection. I have The Tangled Lands by Paolo Bacigalupi and Tobias S. Buckle, which is a fantasy book. I have Meddling Kids by Edgar Cantero, which I believe is a murder mystery. I have one autobiography, and because I don't read a lot of autobiographies, but I thought it sounded good and I love this person, and it is My Thoughts Exactly by Lily Allen. I have The Magpie Murders by Anthony Horowitz. Written in Red by Anne Bishop, which is an urban fantasy. Milk and Honey by Rupi Kaur, which is a poetry collection. Falling Kingdoms by Morgan Rose, the first book in the Falling Kingdoms series. Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas, the first book in the Throne of Glass series. Bad Dreams and Other Stories by Tessa Hadley. This is a short story collection. Dangerous Women by George R. Martin and Gardner Dozois. This is also a short story collection, quite a big one. I think it's about 700-800 pages. But it's a short story collection all about, as the title would suggest, dangerous women. Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark by Alvin Schwartz. This is the first in, I think it's 2 or 3 book series. Golden State by Ben Winters. I'm not sure what this is about, but I like Ben Winters. Bed Bugs by Ben Winters, which is like a creepy, atmospheric story, kind of bordering on horror. Mythos by Stephen Fry, which is the Greek myths and legends retold. Uprooted by Naomi Novik, which is a YA fantasy, I believe. And Spinning Silver by Naomi Novik, which I believe is also fantasy, but a lot of people say they prefer Uprooted to Spinning Silver. I have The Wall by John Lanchester. Demon Road by Derek Landy, the first in the, I think they're called Demon Road trilogy. Norse Mythology by Neil Gaiman, which is Norse mythology stories retold. Excuse me. I have To Kill a Kingdom by Alexandra Christo. Nomon by Nick Harkaway. Furthermore by Tahera Mafi. Kings of the Wild by Nicholas Eames, which is it's supposed to be epic fantasy, but apparently it's good to read if you're just getting into epic fantasy. It's very readable. Empire of Silence by Christopher Ruocchio, which is fantasy. Good Me, Bad Me by Ali Land, which is crime. 3 Moments of an Explosion by China Mieville, which is a short story collection, science fiction / fantasy. The Binding by Bridget Collins. I'm not sure what this is about. I think it's historical fiction with a bit of magical elements thrown in, maybe magical realism. The Paper Menagerie by Ken Liu, which is short story collection. The Bear and the Nightingale by Catherine Arden, which is the first in this trilogy, and I believe it's fantasy. Then I have 3 by Stephen King. I have Just After Sunset, Everything's Eventual, and Bazaar of Bad Dreams, and these are all short stories. I have City of Stairs by Robert Jackson Bennett, and Foundryside by Robert Jackson Bennett. These are both fantasy. I have Suicide Club by Rachel Heng. Red Rising by Pierce Brown, another fantasy, the first in the series. My Sister the Serial Killer by Oyinkan Braithwaite, which is about a Nigerian, I think she's Nigerian, but an African woman who knows that her sister is a serial killer. And I believe I don't know if it's a true story, but I believe it's based on a true story at least. If We Were Villains by M.L. Rio, which is a kind of murder mystery. The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss, which is fantasy. Friday Black by Nane Kwame R.J. Brenya, which is a short story collection. Florida by Lauren Groff, which is also a short story collection, and has been on a lot of best of the year's short story collections lists, and books that you need to read. The Hazelwood by Melissa Albert. The Twisted Tree by Rachel Burge. The Gilded Wolves by Roshani Chokshi. This is historical fantasy. Vox by Christina Dolce, which is YA dystopian, I believe. And You Know You Want This by Kristen Rupenian, which is a short story collection. And it's labelled, it's classified on Amazon and other lists as horror / magical realism / fantasy, which is not indicative of the cover of this book at all, but I've heard the stories are incredible, and there are a lot of them in this collection. I think there's about 30 or 40, so I'm very excited to get to that. So, as you can tell, that is a lot of ebooks. I believe it's about 55, if I've counted them right. If you know anything about any of these books, or you want to discuss anything about any of them, let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching this ebook haul, and hopefully there'll be more ebook hauls soon. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Goodbye.